The 10 most expensive sculptures ever sold. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Popping Luxury. Here are the 10 most expensive sculptures ever sold. Number 10, reclining figure. Festival by Henry Moore, $31.1 million. This abstract statue was created in 1951 by Henry Moore as a commission from the Arts Council for the Festival of Berlin. It features a highly abstractive form of reclining female figure resting on her two arms. Moore first began with a sketch, followed by a plaster maquettes in small bronze metal, which was later enlarged to create a full-size cast. Of the sculpture, Moore famously said, "The Festival reclining figure is perhaps my first sculpture where the space and the form are completely dependent and inseparable from each other. I had reached the stage where I wanted my sculpture to be truly three-dimensional."
Individual parts of the body, the more that we see the choices that the artist has made.
Number 9, Tulips by Jeff Koons, $34.8 million. American artist Jeff Koons is famous for his work and infused elements of pop culture in everyday objects. His stainless steel balloon animal sculptures have been perfectly noted. His gigantic steel sculpture Tulips was sold for an enormous price at Christie's to hotel mogul Steve Wynn, who is very passionate about collecting famous pieces of art. The sculpture features a bouquet of tulips in different colors with transparent color coating in mirror polished stainless steel. It was one of the 5 unique versions created.
It's joy. Everything that we know about tulips is for.
Number 8, Madame LR Portrait d'MMRLR by Constantin Brocassi, $41.5 million. Created in 1918 by Constantin Brocassi, the piece has been characterized as an abstract sculpture of the female form. Although the sculptor himself disagrees with the sentiment, he once said, "There are idiots who define my work as abstract, yet what they call abstract is what most realistic." Nevertheless, Brocassi remains famous as one of the most famous modernist sculptors from France, with a particular talent from woodworks. This piece was sold to the private collection of Yves Saint Laurent and Pierre Berge for over $30 million on February 24th, 2009.
Excuse my French.
Number 7, Grand TT Mints by Alberto Giacometti, $50.9 million. Giacometti sculptures are worth a fortune now. Widely regarded as one of the most prominent sculptors of the 20th century, this Swiss artist was heavily influenced by the art and the philosophical movements of his time, such as Surrealism, Cubanism, and Extensionalism. His work is particularly celebrated for the most of a solitary and suffering human figure. However, this piece, whose title roughly translates to larger thin head, is a male bust that created in 1955. The sculpture is noted for the unusual proportions, and when viewed from different angles, it appears as 2 distinct heads.
Is full of the imprints of the artist.
Number 6, No de dos for Etat Back 4 by Henri Matisse, $53 million. Henri Matisse is more famous as a painter, especially for the way he used vivid colors and conveyed a sense of fluidity and movement in his works. Along with Pablo Picasso, his impact on modern art was quite significant. However, he was also a sculptor, and one of the pieces was sold for $53 million. He made a series of sculptures modeled on the human back, which also happen to be the largest pieces he has ever made. Cast in bronze, this piece features a seemingly androgynous back with an abstracted plate.
A tradition which was centuries old. And
Number 5, Gunanel Lyonesse, $65.4 million. This one is the oldest sculpture on the list, and by a fairly huge margin. Although we do not know who the original artist was, we are fairly certain that it's around 5,000 years old. This limestone statue was reportedly discovered in Iraq and merges both animal and human features, with feminine curves on the lower body, the absence of male sex organs, and the head of a lioness. The sculpture has been subject of numerous debates and is speculated to be an ancient Mesopotamian deity, who often took the form of anthropomorphic figures. What is most interesting is the fact that the sculpture was created around the same time as the invention of the wheel and the beginnings of the cuneiform writing, adding to its immense historical value.
We have these fin-like arms coming down into this triangle.
Number 4, Balloon Dog Orange by Jeff Koons, $59.4 million. The second Jeff Koons sculpture on the lips, Balloon Dog, was part of his Celebration series. 5 unique pieces in different colors were produced, with the orange version being sold at record price. The priest exudes an aura of childish playfulness and optimism. However, Koons has a slightly darker take on it, saying, "I've always enjoyed balloon animals because they're like us. We're balloons. You take a breath and you inhale, it's an optimism. You exhale, and it's kind of a symbol of death."
Balloon Dog is eternally optimistic. It's in a position to...
Number 3, TT by Amito Mongolini, $64.7 million. Created between 1910 and 1912 by the legendary Italian Jewish sculptor and painter Amito Mongolini, the sculpture represented a woman in a tribal mask. The limestone head is over 2 feet tall. It is over 27 sculptures that Mondolini ever made. The entire auction for this was comprised almost entirely of telephone bidders, with the final anonymous bidder paying over 60 million, which is the highest price for any work of art sold in France till date.
Limestone, and to chisel and carve and polish certain areas of it, but also to leave very clearly.
Number 2, L'Homme qui marche by Alberto Giacometti, 113.4 million. The title of the sculpture translates to The Walking Man and features Giacometti's signature motif. It depicts a lonely thin man in a mid-stride pose and exudes a sense of vulnerability, sadness, and loneliness, themes which reoccur repeatedly in the sculpture's work. It held the record for being the most expensive sculpture ever sold, until it was broken by the sale of another Giacometti sculpture. Number 1, L'Homme à Deux by Alberto Giacometti, 141.3 million. This bronze sculpture was created in 1945 and holds a world record for the most expensive sculpture ever sold. Translated as the Pointing Man, the piece depicts a solitary wraith-like thin man standing upright and pointing. Created in a world that was just recovering from the devastating effects of the Second World War, Valerie Fletcher wrote of this piece, the stick figure suited the zeitgeist of the war's aftermath, perhaps a positive metaphor for civilization emerging from the years of physical and psychic horror. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. And like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the next 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.